Hello, dear Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising sign Virgos. This is your astrological forecast for the month of June. I am Michaela and thank you for supporting my astrology channel, Todayenergy. Now, June promises to be way calmer, an introspective month than the previous two, I would say, as we just we're closing the eclipse season, so many people passed through karmic events and changes, and now we need to integrate those into our psyche and life. And so the universe supports this introspective integration process by giving us 3 retrograde planets. Also, of course, this means that the attention to these planets will be enhanced and there will be focus on their topics, but let's see them one by one. And starting from the beginning, we have the conjunction of Jupiter and Mars in Aries. That's your 8th house. Wow, how much passion, Virgos. 8th house is intimate relationships, passive incomes. So you are fighting for your loan, for your scholarship, for your alimony. There is a lot of sparks in your private life, I would say. That's great. Also, it's about fighting your own fears and traumas from the past, so you're very courageous in this. But this combination is squared by the Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. She is in your 11th house currently for the next 9 months. Black Moon Lilith is provocations, fakes, distorted information, but in this case it's in Cancer. Transiting Cancer. So it's about feelings, it's about drama, it's about making a problem out of nothing. Like how did Shakespeare say, much ado about nothing. So it's important to stay reasonable and not to fall into provocations from whom? 11th house, your friends, your tribe, your like-minded people, generally people with whom you feel good and you participate together in some activities, clubs, organizations, political, non-political, but in this case they might mess up with your private life. They might try to, teach you how to deal with your finances or ask you to support some financial causes. And in this case, it's important to be reasonable and to judge whether you can or you can't actually, let's say, financially support your friends and your organizations. On the 3rd, your ruler Mercury stations to go direct. That's a great news after its 3 weeks of retrogradation. So I hope you did some nice introspection and reassessment of your life. Nevertheless, the 3rd, I would say the 2nd and the 4th 3 days, while the planet is stationed, you might feel a bit dizzy, like as if in a hangover, not clear mind, not clear communication. There might be mistakes, misunderstandings, especially concerning your work and studies, as well as your documents, legal matters. Maybe misunderstandings while teaching or with teachers. So, just postpone exams and traveling and career conversations for after the 4th of June. And even better, if you can, of course, after the 18th of June, you can check my video about Mercury retrograde on my channel. It's still very relevant information, I would say. It will be helpful because Mercury leaves the retrograde shadow on the 18th of June. So afterwards, educational, travel, international topics and career topics and your own health and look and relationships will go full steam. On the 5th, Saturn stations to go retrograde, and we feel Saturnian energies the whole first half of June, even maybe last week of May as well. Saturn retrogrades in Aquarius, that's your 6th house. He rules 5th and 6th house. In the public space, there might be a lot of attention to topics like elderly people, pensions, government, politicians, corporations, structures, fundaments, prohibitions, laws, restrictions, But in your case, Saturn, when stationing, this, let's say, 2 weeks, Saturn will want you to focus on your work, on your health, on your duties, on your responsibilities. Sixth house, you're very familiar with its symbolism because you rule it symbolically, Virgos. So it's about helping others, taking care of someone, fixing things at home, your car, at work, in your neighborhood, socially. Depends on the scale. But on the very first place, for me, this is like fix your own health first thing first, okay? And then already your home, house, your parents, and so on. As well, fifth house, it's about having very serious reassessment of your love life, your attitude towards children, but talking about your partner. Are you good together? Is it what you want? Is it serious enough? Because Saturn doesn't need games or no strings attached. Saturn wants attachment. Saturn wants stability. Saturn wants structure, family, traditions. So maybe you will reconsider your status with your partner. Also, fifth house is about hobby and business. Perhaps it's time for your hobby to become a business. Maybe you are great at baking cakes and you have already so many followers in Instagram, so finally you can possibly try to monetize it. But yes, for this, of course, you will need organization, good structure, putting efforts, educating yourself, be serious about it, have a regime, have a structure. But Saturn here wants you to think about all of this. And don't worry, you will have 4 months and a half while Saturn goes retrograde to reassess, restructure those things, taking more serious approach to health, hobby, put effort into work, but not getting over exhausted and tired, because Saturn might give you this feeling that everything depends on you, you're the only responsible person, all the burden is on your shoulders. Saturn might give self-doubt, creative blockages. Fifth house is creativity. Saturn might whisper in your ear, you're not good enough, and so on. So don't take this negative lower manifestation of Saturn. Take it as patience, as hard work, as dedication to what you love, to whom you love, and to yourself. And on the 22nd of October, Saturn stations to go direct again, and you will see how he will reward you, reward us all for our serious, responsible attitude, for our good work, for building the proper foundations on the top of which already we can upgrade later. It might be really a topic about children in your life, taking responsibility as being a parent, or taking responsibility for your own inner child. On the 12th, Venus, who rules your second and ninth house, conjuncts Uranus in Taurus, in your ninth house. So there might be some surprising, unexpected travel, news, legal procedures waiting for you. Maybe you want to study something related to modern technologies, astrology, aviation, something about the space, the sky. Maybe you'll find the right teacher, authority figure who will be quite unique, unusual personality, a maverick in a sense. Maybe you will become famous with being eccentric. Money, because Venus symbolizes your money, it might come from something related to studies, education, travel, tourism, international affairs, technologies. And you might meet love, a person from different culture, from foreign land. On the 13th, Mercury goes again into Gemini after being retrograde in Taurus. He is direct, so going the same road again for the third time. And he will spend a whole month in Gemini till the 5th of July. That's your 10th house, Virgo. So there might be big chances to negotiate your work, your status, sign papers, documents. Maybe it's about getting married, maybe it's about relocation, business trips you might expect as well, or working with documents and papers. On the 14th, we have a full moon at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. That's your 4th house. Wow, culmination about your decision where to live, your place of living. Maybe you receive citizenship or some papers, residency. Maybe culmination in the life of your mom or dad. Maybe some of them is going on pension, for example, yeah, or you are moving out. But this full moon is squared by Neptune, who gives a little bit of idealization, dreams, fogginess, but also a lot of emotions. Neptune is in your 7th house. So maybe you are over idealizing your partner, and there is disagreement because of that with your parents and family. Maybe you need to be more careful if you are about to sell property or buy property or relocate, and you have your advisors, to be double careful with those advisors and documents and so on. Maybe there is just a lot of emotions at home because you are relocating, and you know, your parents feel sad that you will be living somewhere else. Neptune is about water and overseas, so maybe you are going to live somewhere in a different continent or near ocean or sea. On the 21st, Sun goes into Cancer. That's your 11th house. Wherever the Sun goes, there is our attention, focus. There might be success, pleasure, joy, vitality, and so 11th house for you. The whole month, your attention will be towards your friends, like-minded people, groups of interest, and group projects, as well as your wishes, hopes, dreams, and goals in life. On the 23rd, Venus goes into Gemini. She will stay there till the 18th of July. So that's again your 10th house, remember? So Venus in the 10th house might give you love at the working place, love with someone of higher status than you, someone older, but also a lot of pleasure from your work and generally your mission in life. Your professional activities will be very successful. You will be very charming, very diplomatic. So it's great for professional negotiations and deals. And you can expect, of course, also money and income from your work. On the 28th, Neptune stations to go retrograde, and we feel this Neptunian energies around us and within us a week before and a week after the 28th, because it's a very slow planet, right? So it spends a lot of time in 1 degree and being stopped, stationed. Of course, in the public space, it might be about health care issues, medicine, viruses, art, actors, Hollywood, some scandals in the media. Neptune, seas, oceans, biology, ecology. But in your chart, Neptune rules and stations in your 7th house. So we're talking here about over-idealization of your partner, emotions connected to your partners. Maybe you're a psychologist. If you are a person who helps other people deal with their emotions, then it's a good time for you. Yeah, it's a big emphasis on your work. Or maybe you need a therapist, a psychologist, and you work with them. As well, it's good for people who are indeed in the artistic fields, because 7th house is popularity and Neptune is also kind of being on stage and acting. So it might give you great performances. Maybe you are meeting a partner who is a Neptunian style of partner, like very distracted, or a doctor, or a spiritual person, or Pisces, or from completely different culture than yours, a foreigner. But also be careful, because it's not a good time, I would say. It's a very romantic time, right? Neptune is feelings, it's unconditional love, it's support, but just don't self-sacrifice for your partner. Don't over-dramatize, or don't allow them to introduce a lot of drama in your life. And also, I wouldn't necessarily sign contracts, deals, get married or get divorced in this time, because it's a very unclear focus here on relationships. but it's great for romantic travel to the seaside, you know. On the 29th, we have a new moon at 7 degrees of Cancer. That's your 11th house. New moon, new beginnings, new friends, new groups of people, new projects with others, opening a new website, new page, blog in internet, new possibilities for income from your work, new hopes, dreams and wishes for yourself. But here be careful, because this new moon conjuncts Lilith. So there might be distortion of your concept of your friends, there might be manipulations, there might be dramas, and it's all, as we say in my language, a storm in a glass of water. It's all for nothing, much ado because of nothing, right? Like Shakespeare said. So very importantly is to stay like cool-headed, like you Virgo can do, can be discerning, right? Like analyze people, not fall for turbulent emotions and explosions of emotions, because here also it's again like at the beginning of the month, remember, Jupiter from Aries, your 8th house, is squaring this new moon. So Jupiter is very enthusiastic. Jupiter is like, hey ho, let's go. Let's travel together, let's spend money together. 8th house is about investment, so maybe your friends are like, hey, let's open this club, this pizza place, right? Can you invest some money? Can you apply for government support and loan for our business? So just, you know, again, be careful with this common shared resources, and maybe loans, investments in group projects, okay? Because you might be like either oversensitive or over optimistic or too generous, let's say. And yeah, Jupiter here can make all this Lilith drama frankly explosive. So with such fireworks, dear Virgos, we finish the month of June. Thank you very much for liking, sharing my videos, for subscribing for my channel. That really helps it grow. I wish you a great month of June, very successful, pleasant, and I'll see you soon. Bye.